Welcome back to another episode of JK Sports. Today I got an NBA mock draft, just the lottery. This is as the standings are as of a couple days ago, so let's just dive right into it. So number one, the Celtics, number one in team in the East, and they got the number one pick. Pretty cool. Markel Fultz, I got them going with the point guard out of Washington. I can't see many faults in this game. He can his defensive potential is there. He can get steals, he gets assists, gets rebounds. He's a big point guard. He can score from anywhere. He can get to the rim at will. Hits the three. There's just an offensive juggernaut there that I don't think anyone who gets the number one pick can pass on, even if you probably have an established point guard, which the Celtics do. And but I can see Fultz playing shooting guard there. He's got that versatility. Thomas and Fultz are not a. I don't think it'd be a problem. Number two, the Suns. Again, they have Tyler Ulis, who's a player with potential, really showing out towards the end of the season here. But Lonzo Ball is a player that I don't think you can pass up on. His vision is extraordinary. Uh, I think you got to take him. He maximizes all your other assets, like Booker and Chris. I think you can't pass up on him. Number three, the Lakers. I have them going with Josh Jackson out of Kansas. Uh, just a freak athlete, crazy length, can hit the three. His free throw percentage doesn't indicate that he might be a great shooter, but he can score. He can defend pretty much all positions minus the five. And he's got great vision. So he's one of my favorite players. I'm going to follow his career really closely. I think he makes sense for the Lakers with Russell and Randall and Ingram. And Josh Jackson and Ingram can interchange between the three and the four. I don't see a problem there. Number four, I have the Sixers going with Malik Monk, the best scorer in the draft. I don't think there's any debate about that. He's got that in the gym range. He's a human fast break. He's crazy athlete. I think he's got good defensive potential if he plays the point guard position, which I'm not sure he can, or if he's matched up with a bigger point guard who can defend shooting guards while Monk can defend the smaller point guards. Uh, like he did it in Kentucky with Darren Fox, who's a bigger point guard. For five, I have the Magic taking Jason Tatum, one of my favorite players, probably my favorite player in the draft to watch. I just see so much potential in him. I don't see a whole lot of faults in his game. He's got great defensive potential because he's got so much length and athleticism. Some people think he's slow. I don't really see that at all. I think he also has that human fast break potential. He's working on that Euro step. He really had that working for him towards the end of the season. He was starting to hit those threes with more frequency. You've seen the crazy highlight dunks that he does. I really like him. He can be a real complete player. He reminds me a lot of Paul George. Or six, the Knicks. Oh my guys. So I got them going with Darren Fox. I think he's the best fit out of the players left. I would really love it if we could get obviously a top pick, but that's not the way things go in New York. But Darren Fox has got great length, good big point guard. He's not stocky, obviously. He's kind of scrawny, but he's got great length and he really can get to the rim at will. In the SEC tournament, he started showing out. Man, he started hitting threes. He was shooting those mid-range jumpers, floaters, doing everything. And you saw a lot of heart. You saw when he lost in the tournament how much he really took it personally. That's the kind of leader you want on the court, and that's one we can really use. We don't have any point guards outside of Ron Baker, who's doing pretty good for a second round pick, but not star level potential. Seven, the Timberwolves. This was a tough choice between Dennis Smith Jr. and Jonathan Isaac. Ultimately, I went with Jonathan Isaac because I think the Timberwolves just desperately need defense, and I'm not sure Dennis Smith Jr. can bring that to them. Isaac, I think he's 7 feet now, and he can run the floor, he hits the three, and he can defend. That's exactly what I think the Timberwolves could use. And that's what today's NBA is. You need a four who can run the floor and defend guys that can, like Kevin Durant. Number eight, I have the Kings going with Dennis Smith Jr. I think he'd be a good scoring duo with Buddy Hield. Uh, and you got the defensive presence in Willie Cauley Stein. I think desperately need some other scoring outside of Hield. Number 9, I have Lauri Markkanen, the center out of Arizona, going to the Mavericks. The dude can shoot from anywhere, and he's got great athleticism. I don't think he really can pass on that. Number 10, again, the second pick for the Kings. I have them going with Miles Bridges. This is just another best player available situation. Bridges is probably the best athlete in the draft class. He's insane. His vertical's insane. He got those crazy dunks and blocks, just jumping all over people, and he can hit the three. He can post up. I think he's a really interesting prospect. I wouldn't be surprised if he ended up being the best player in the draft. Number 11, the Hornets. I have them going with Justin Jackson, small forward out of North Carolina. Just a really good scorer. I think they could really use him to help Kemba Walker there. Number 12, I have the Pistons going with Frank Ntilikina, point guard out of France. That dude, you're banking on his potential. He's playing in a different league, a much more difficult league than college, but so you don't see the stats. The stats aren't impressive, but he can hit threes, and he looks like a defensive monster. At the point guard position is exactly what you want in today's NBA. He doesn't really have those flashy passes. He doesn't have. You don't see a whole lot of Lonzo Ball or Russell Westbrook through the legs shit. You don't see a lot of assist numbers with him, but I think you get a real solid point guard there. Number 13, I have John Collins, or the Miami Heat drafting John Collins, power forward out of Wake Forest. John Collins is one of my favorite players in this draft. I think he's a stat box filler. He can score from the inside. He started showing some more mid-range. He can block shots, he can rebound. I think Spoelstra will do a lot with him. Number 14, the Denver Nuggets. Whoever they pick, obviously they need to surround around Nikola Jokic, who is the centerpiece. Dude's a monster, averaging like five assists a game at the center position with insane Jason Kidd-like passes. But so I have them going with TJ Leaf, power forward out of UCLA. That man can hit threes, he can rebound, and he's a good athlete. I think he's the perfect fit for what Denver's trying to do, especially since Gallinari, I think, is a free agent after this year. So I think he can fit right into that role, no problem. So that's basically it. That's just the lottery picks for this video, but I'm going to try to get one in the next week or two for the full draft. All right, thanks. Let me know what you guys think.